Hello friends, welcome back to another Alpha League session with me, AVB. Today, we've got a massive session. This is a big brain one. I have spent many hours researching this platform because there are a lot of concepts. What I would recommend is, first, go get a coffee. Second, don't be afraid. You and I can do this together. Third, make sure that you check out the show notes. There will be a ton of links with all the references and additional resources so that you can also dive in on your own time. Despite this channel always bringing you the juicy bits, you should always do your own research. And finally, there will be timestamps down below, so you can always skip around to the section that piques your interest. Now, with that warning, let's get started. Today, we're going to be covering the HOLDR protocol. What is HOLDR? You may be wondering. HOLDR is a balancer-friendly fork. And because I know that curiosity will not let you focus unless we address the elephant in the room, let's look into what the hell is a friendly fork. In crypto speak, a fork is when a project or a blockchain parts ways. And here there's a really big distinction. Normally, forks are contentious, namely the founders of a team or the community or greedy, malicious investors, who knows? For whatever reason, there is a split in the project. Namely, they take the exact same code and they deploy what would be technically the exact same product, but now there are two versions of it. The reason why I say it's contentious is because the salient feature here would be that these two versions now are competing with each other. So a traditional example would be SushiSwap forking Uniswap and then having a vampire attack to drain liquidity. But because builders on Near are amazing, enter the friendly fork. This is one of the many links that will be in the show notes below. The HOLDR friendly fork proposal. Instead of this being a contentious, nasty split, what we have is a beautiful proposal for collaboration. So Balancer is one of the DeFi OGs. If you've been in crypto for long enough, you know that they are true innovators as far as the technology goes. They have massive TVL. And basically, every blockchain where they expand to, people pay attention and they draw in a lot of money. But the Balancer team is not expanding to Aurora. The Solus team has taken the Balancer code and deployed it on Aurora, but they are honoring their masters. We're right in the shoulder of giants. So this is basically like a marriage proposal. At the crux of this proposal is the intertwining of both projects, which really gives us the best of both worlds. Now we get to have the Balancer technology on Aurora, and we get to have the involvement of the core team to some extent and the awareness and support of the Balancer community in general. And it's actually interesting that this was put to vote to Balancer holders. The main gist is 5% of the holder tokens will go to Balancer treasury and 1% will actually be airdropped to current BAL holders. A BAL is the token for Balancer. So I think this is a very smart way to intertwine both projects and excellent marketing. People love airdrops. See, the thing is, you and I know that Aurora is the absolute best EVM solution out there. So this is why I'm excited, because this gives us an amazing opportunity, not only to really strengthen DeFi on Aurora and Near, but also to get thousands of people to try Aurora. They can get an Aurora Plus account, they can get free transactions, and hopefully they can bring their capital to me. Okay, I gotta be carried away. Because we have established that HOLDR is a Balancer fork. What we're going to do next is we're going to cover what is Balancer. We're going to be looking into some of the main features that the platform offers, some of the core value propositions, who may this be relevant to, and naturally, all these explanations also apply to HOLDR. So I am on the Ethereum page now on Ethereum mainnet, and at a glance, it may seem like Balancer is just another DEX where you can swap assets and you can provide liquidity into pools, earn some rewards in the token of the exchange. What is new here, Alejandro? I'll tell you what is new. See, Their core difference between a balancer pool and a traditional AMM pool, such as Uniswap or even Refinance right now, is that in a traditional AMM or automated market maker, you can only have 2 assets in the pool and the pools are balanced 50-50%. So the price of each asset will be based on the pool of each one of those. There are many reasons that we don't have to get into today why this is an inefficient pricing model, and it may also present some challenges around capital efficiency. Namely, you may have pools that are too large and only 3, 4, 5% of the funds are being utilized, etc. What does Balancer do? Balancer actually has several innovations. Let's look at the first type of pool. I'm actually back on the HOLDR documentation, but it doesn't matter because it's a Balancer-friendly fork. We can jump back and forth between Balancer and HOLDR, and we can still be friends. Okay, even better. So the main innovation here is that we start to move away from the 50-50 approach, such as Uniswap and Sushi and Rev, Trisolaris, and we start moving into pools where you can actually customize the weighing of the pool. On the example on the right, we can see a pool that has 60% BAL, 20% BTC, 20% Ethereum, and you can really choose any index that you want. Without going too deep into the maths, this is extremely cool because it gives investors the ability to have much more custom and much more efficient vehicles to park their money, and it gives traders or everyday users such as you and I the ability to get much better liquidity and much better pricing. Balancer and HOLDR also offer composable stable pools. If you're interested, go to the documentation. I'm going to try to keep it short. LOL! Because there are 2 more types of pools that I want to cover. The first one, it's called a boosted pool. And the crazy thing about a boosted pool is that it takes underutilized assets in the pool and it deploys them on a lending protocol. Back to Balancer and Ethereum, we can see the Balancer boosted Avi USD. So by clicking on it, we can see, oh my God, this Balancer boosted pool on Avi has almost $3 billion in volume in 90 days. That is bloody insane. Okay, but this is what we want to look. So the pool composition, we can see that there are 2 types of assets. There are the main stablecoins, USDT, USDC, and DAI, but there are actually 2 types of assets for each. The first, such as USDT, would be just like real USDT. AUSDT is USDT that has been deposited on Avi. So through Balancer, we basically do the magic money wizardry of enabling money to be in 2 places at once. The USDT is technically on the pool, enabling you to swap between the stablecoins with minimal slippage and very small fees. And at the same time, the money is also on Avi, earning you fees. Now, admittedly, at the moment, the interest that you may perceive for stablecoins on Avi, it's not really that high. Well, that really is beyond the point, because what I really want to do is spark your imagination. What kind of boosted pools could you create on Balancer that could benefit from this? On the documentation from HOLDR, they have already talked about integration with Bastion, so you could simultaneously be providing liquidity to HOLDR and earning interest on the swaps, and some of the assets could be deployed automatically, like magic, by the protocol to Bastion and also earn interest there. Now, there's several reasons why I am extremely excited about that one. The first one is a bit more generic, more philosophical, more principle-based, I guess, and it really comes down to sustainability. And sustainability has 2 components. The first one is token issuance and supply, and the second one is bootstrapping the DeFi ecosystem. Let's look at the token issuance first. Up until now, most exchanges such as Trisolaris or Rev or Uniswap, they have relied heavily on the distribution of their own token to incentivize users to deposit liquidity. And the reason is that there are many pools where you need to have liquidity to be able to provide a good user experience, but there really isn't as much trading volume for it to be an attractive investment, purely based on fees. So for instance, a traditional pool on a traditional AMM may offer you whatever, 15%. But the 15%, it's really mostly the tokens being given to you as additional rewards and 0.3% trading fees. So HOLDR creates a much more sustainable model whereby you can have a higher return on the pool and it is real yield. What do I mean by real yield? Interest that someone else is paying on Bastion for the funds that are being deployed from the HOLDR pool. So this is extremely exciting, and I'll give you a concrete example, which is the reason why I'm also excited. Let's say, hypothetically, that we were to create an ST near pool. The current pool on Refinance has over $1 million, and even though it has pretty good volume, the trading fee is still relatively low, maybe hovering at the 1% or less. But if HOLDR enabled us to deploy the underutilized ST near and near from the liquidity pool into Bastion Origami, you could start to earn up to 5% at the moment on Bastion and near. So that would bring up the APY of the pool up significantly. And that is even before we add HOLDR rewards or meta rewards. This is a really big deal for traders and investors alike. And then finally, and this is something that I really like because the Solus team mentions this explicitly during one of their blog posts. I read one too many, so I'm not even going to bother trying to find it. Is it? This piece of technology is enabling us, the few people that remain standing and the little capital that is still available after the crazy shit that's been going on in crypto, to really make the most of our assets to keep the ecosystem alive and to enable it to grow. I am fired up by that call to action, by that mission, and I'm just thrilled that we finally have more tools that enable us to put together all the Lego pieces. So a really quick recap. Balancer and HOLDR introduce a much more flexible model where you can create custom pools that have higher capital efficiency, which enable us to have better liquidity, better returns, and to bootstrap liquidity in the ecosystem. It's a win-win for everyone. Now, really briefly, I mentioned the HOLDR team. I really quickly want to mention that HOLDR is actually deployed by the Solus team. Solus is a DeFi insurance protocol. We don't have to touch on that on this video. What I do want to say, if it's worth anything, is that the co-founder of Near, Ilya Poloshukin, and the CEO of Aurora, Alex Shevchenko, are amongst other pretty well-established and well-known crypto people, are angel investors. So I am assuming that these guys looked into the team, looked into their performance, and they saw something there. So I've got very high hopes for HOLDR as well. There is one final concept that we have to cover, the liquidity bootstrapping pool. The liquidity bootstrapping pool is a vehicle that has been designed to overcome many of the challenges of token sales, such as whitelisting, front-running, inefficient price determination. And the way it works, I'm going to explain it super simple and link to all the documentation if you want to geek out. The way it works is the price starts high and it has been programmed to decrease over a period of 2 days. They do so by changing the composition of the pool. I'm going to link this video along with other resources are going to be in the description, but this graph is actually really useful to see how on the top left, the price starts high, and then we can see how over time it is programmed to decrease automatically. However, every time that there is a buy, and that changes the ratio of the assets in the pool, the price is likely to have a peak. So the key takeaway that you need to know for an LBP is do not ape in. You're more likely to get a better deal on a liquidity bootstrapping pool towards the end, especially after you're able to see the interest from other market participants, etc. If you're interested in participating in the liquidity bootstrapping campaign and acquire some HOLDR, there are 6 simple steps to follow. Participating is as simple as going to the HOLDR app, connecting your MetaMask wallet, using the swap interface, and handing over your cash $USDC in exchange for some HOLDR. Let's go to the website now so you can see how it looks. But as I just mentioned, the most important thing is not to ape in. I know that FOMO is a real thing, but we can hold the line. So the liquidity bootstrapping campaign will be on for 2 days or 48 hours. It opened just over 2 hours and 27 minutes ago. The current price is 29 cents, and there are just under 2 million tokens remaining. Let's see if I can open this graph. So if I were to conduct a very poor analysis of this graph, what I think it's happening is, as soon as it opened, someone bought, they aped in, they didn't see this video. I'm sorry, I didn't release on time. And then the pool, as it is programmed to, starts bringing the price down. And every time the price has come down slightly, there's been some small buys. Now, this is a 2.5-hour chart, so naturally it's not, those peaks and valleys are actually very small price movements. This is not financial advice, but what I am going to do personally is to wait at least one day or so. Friends, I know that this has been a very long one. There are going to be a ton of links in the description section below, so I hope that this is just the beginning of your journey. The truth is, and I feel like the recent events in crypto have shown us, we're all not going to make it. Only the people that do the research, that are patient, and that are able to really see quality products for what they are, that are able to see blockchains with cheap, fast transactions and excellent user experience, those are the ones that are going to succeed. So if you've made it this far, I'd like to think you're one of them, but this is just the beginning of the road. If you like this video, make sure that you like and subscribe. It really supports the channel. Thanks so much. Let me know in the comment section what you think, and I'll see you soon. Bye.